Unit 7, Part 4 notes. I can solve quadratic equations by using the square roots. Part 2. Reminder that squares and square roots are inverses or opposites, so they undo each other, just like addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. And then there's your chart, square roots of perfect squares. Reminder, we do take the positive and the negative in this case. So square root of 1 is 1 and negative 1. Square root of 4 is 2 and negative 2. Reminder, your calculator will only give you the positive case, but then it's just also include the negative case as well. This chart goes up to 12, so square root of 144. However, there are more square roots. This chart would extend indefinitely. We just don't have enough space for all of that. All right, so we're going to continue to solve quadratic equations. However, this time it's going to look a little bit different, but we are going to still use the same basic steps that we used in our first lesson. So now instead of getting the x squared alone, we're going to get the parentheses squared alone. So if we look at our equation, we have 7 times the quantity x minus 4 squared minus 18 equals 10. So our goal is still to get the piece that's squared all by itself. So to do that, we're going to undo addition and subtraction. So undo minus 18 with a plus 18 on both sides. So we have 7 times x minus 4 squared equals 10 plus 18 is 28. And then we still need to undo that multiplication. So this times 7 in front of the parentheses. So we're going to undo that with divide by 7. So when we do that, that's 7, just those cancel, and we're left with the parentheses squared. So x minus 4 squared equals 28 divided by 7 is 4. So we got the parentheses squared alone. All right, now we need to get the parenthesis alone. We want to get rid of the square. So undo the square with the square root. So we did that last time. So we're going to take the square of this side, square root of this side, and the square root of the right side. So the square root of x minus 4 squared, we're just going to be left with the parenthesis then. So it's just going to be x minus 4. I'm going to get rid of the parenthesis, but I'm going to keep what's inside of it. Is equal to, the square root of 4 is 2 and negative 2. So the more common way to write that is plus or minus 2. So this plus or minus just means the 2 can be both positive and negative. So this plus or minus symbol, we're going to use this lesson and continue on using it next lesson. So it's something to get used to. So we have plus or minus 2. So now we need to solve both of these equations because we would have one equation where x minus 4 is equal to positive 2. And then we'd have an equation where x minus 4 is equal to that negative 2. So now we just solve that by undoing minus 4 with plus 4. So we get x is equal to 6. And then we also can do that on the right equation, undo minus 4 with plus 4. So x is equal to negative 2 plus 4 is 2. So in this case, our answers are not going to be the same number, positive, negative. They're going to be different numbers, different values. So we have x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 2. So those are our two answers. All right, one more example here. We have 5 is equal to 3 times the quantity x plus 11 squared minus 7. So again, we're going to start by getting that quantity squared alone, which is this x plus 11 squared. So we want to undo that minus 7 with a plus 7 on both sides. 5 plus 7 is 12 equals 3 times x plus 11 squared. Negative 7 plus 7 cancels out. Now we need to get rid of this 3 that's in front of the parentheses, so we're going to divide both sides by 3. The 3's cancel. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so 4 equals x plus 11 squared. So we got that x that quantity squared, the parentheses squared alone. So now we need to undo that square with the square root. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. Square root of 4 is both positive and negative 2. Is equal to, when we take the square root of this right side, we're just left with the x plus 11 that's inside those parentheses. So now we need to split that into our two equations. We have positive 2 is equal to x plus 11, and negative 2 is equal to x plus 11. Now we just need to solve both of these equations by undoing plus 11 with minus 11. X is equal to 2 take away 11 is negative 9. And then on the other equation, still subtract 11 from both sides, and x is equal to negative 2 take away 11 is negative 13. So our answer for this would be x is equal to negative 9, and x is equal to negative 13. All right, that is it for your notes portion of this. The rest is your practice. So you've got some practice problems here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are those new type of equations that we just talked about in the notes. And then 5, 6, 7, and 8 go back to what we did in Unit 7, Part 3, so in our last video. And then once you have completed all 8 of those problems, you can complete the check-in on Schoology. If you have any questions, please let me know.